Alright, what's going on, boys? In this video, I'm gonna break down the 7 non-negotiables of a high-value man. Now, this isn't gonna be one of those alpha male videos where I tell you guys you need to be making $1 million a month in order to be considered high value. These are real things that every single man can accomplish and can include inside his life to be considered a high value man. Now, this list is in no particular order of importance, but make sure you watch till the very end because the last principle is the most important and none of the other ones are going to be valid if you don't have that last non-negotiable in place. So let's get right into it. The first principle is going to be discipline. Discipline is freedom. If you look at this picture I got for you right here, it says discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. And as a high value man, you need to have discipline. There's going to be so many times in your life that you don't want to do something, but you have to do it anyway. You're not going to want to go to the gym. You're still going to have to go. Sometimes you're not going to want to go work, but you still have to if you're going to provide for yourself and your family, right? Sometimes if you're a father, maybe you don't really want to go out, play with your kids sometimes, but you have to do so anyway to be a good parent, right? And so if you want to be considered high value, you must have discipline. Number one is it going to build self-respect? Every time that you skip a rep, every time that you relapse, every time that you hit the snooze button, you train your mind to identify as weak. Your subconscious takes note of every time you take the easy way out. So every time you make the decision that goes against what you're supposed to do, your subconscious takes a note. And then next time you're faced with another decision, your subconscious already views you as weak because you've shown that through your actions, right? So micro discipline bleeds into macro success. What I mean by this is how you do anything is how you do everything. You can't just be disciplined inside the gym. You can't just be disciplined at work. You need to be disciplined across every single aspect of life, and especially in like those minor moments that you think it doesn't count. Every time you leave your dishes out and you don't wash them right away, your mind takes a note that you're not that disciplined. Every time you skip cleaning your room, your mind takes a note that you're not that disciplined. Every time you decide to take the elevator and when you know damn well you could take the stairs, your mind takes a note that you're not that disciplined. So without discipline, your ambition is just gonna rot in potential. Everybody thinks that they have such a great potential, and a lot of you guys really do have great potential, but it doesn't matter how great of a man that you think you are. If you don't have the discipline to execute, then you're never actually going to be able to show up for yourself or your loved ones. So make sure you have some sort of structure that's going to keep you disciplined and you stick to it every single day, every single moment of your life. And this goes into number 2, which is physical excellence. Your body is going to reflect your standards, and nobody respects a weak man. You don't need to be Mr. Olympia, but you need to look like you care about your fitness. It says so much about you. It shows people that you're disciplined. It shows people that you can stay consistent. It shows people that you're competent. You're competent enough to have a good physique. You're competent enough to cook your own meals. And it puts you in a position of higher authority. So when you walk into work and your coworkers see you or your team members see you, they automatically treat you with more respect once you're in great shape. Nobody really respects the fat guy who's the CEO, right? They might do what he says just because he's the CEO, but behind his back, they all talk shit about him and no one really cares about the guy apart from his status, right? So if you want people to really treat you with the respect that you desire, you must be in great shape. It shows people that you're capable, that you're confident, and it's going to make you feel dangerous, capable, and confident. Now, when you're working on your fitness, right, you shouldn't just focus on pump and the muscles you see in the mirror. That's great and all. Obviously, you want to be in great shape. You attract more women. You look better that way, right? You want to be aesthetic. You want to fit your clothes well. But also focus on proper strength, function, and athleticism, because this is going to give you the results outside of the gym. This is going to help keep your mental sharp so you can execute at work. This is going to keep you living healthy for a long period of time. So you could be still working out when you're 60, 70, 80 years old even, right? So you could be that father that plays with his kids and doesn't get tired. That grandfather who plays with his grandkids and doesn't get tired. You could be that father at the parent-teacher conference that's absolutely jacked. Because at the end of the day, who wants to just have a nice looking physique for a few years and then fall off and not be able to sustain it? So make sure you're actually prioritizing the way you feel. And when it comes down to physical excellence, right? Notice I didn't just put be in good shape. I said physical excellence. You should be optimizing for testosterone and high performance. So you're not just performing well inside the gym, but outside of it too. So you don't just have a bunch of energy inside the gym. You have energy outside the gym. You can perform well in the bedroom with your girlfriend, with your wife. You can satisfy her. You have the strength and the capability to defend yourself if you have to defend your family. All of those play a role inside of your physical excellence, so it's more than just the physique. Optimize for performance and testosterone. And lastly, mastering your physical state will dominate your mental and emotional state. When you go in that gym and you put in the reps even when you don't want to, which ties back to discipline, you build up your mental and emotional state. You start to become more resilient. Life throws shit your way, but it's all good because you've already pushed yourself past limits that you didn't think you could actually push yourself to. And when you do get that physique that you didn't really think, that you doubted yourself about whether or not you can accomplish it, that's going to build up your confidence to actually go after the things you want outside of the gym as well. Now, number 3 is going to be mission. What is the reason that you get out of bed every morning? A lot of guys don't know what their mission is. And that's why they wake up, they check their phone, they scroll through Instagram, they watch everybody's stories, they watch what everybody else is doing, and they don't really have that drive to pursue what they want to pursue because they don't really know what they should be pursuing. They drag themselves to work because it pays the bills. They drag themselves to the gym because they know they have to get in good shape, but they don't really know why they do it. So without purpose, you're going to drift. That's why men without mission always turn to vices. Every single time, if you don't have purpose in your life, I guarantee you're going to turn to some sort of vices. It could be harder vices like drugs, alcohol, smoking, or it could be the vices that just creep up on you silently, like playing video games, watching sports, watching a movie, binge eating, all of these things, which may not seem as bad, but stacked up over time, they will ruin your life. Think about purpose like your anchor when life throws chaos. As a man, as a high value man, you're always going to be tested every single day. You're going to be tested some sort of way. Some tests are going to be greater than others. But the one thing that determines how far you could go is how well you can actually handle those tests. So your purpose is going to serve like your anchor. You can always go back to your purpose. A girl flaked on you, it's all good. You could work on your purpose. That job fired you, it's all good. You have your purpose. You're feeling stressed out, you work on the purpose. You're feeling bored and lonely, you work on the purpose. Your purpose is your best friend. Your purpose is your anchor. Now, we all have masculine energy inside of us, and your goals in life is going to be where you direct your masculine energy. If you don't direct your masculine energy towards goals, once again, you're going to direct them towards vices. So, women, money, and pleasure, They're all byproducts of the work, but never really the goal. Understand that it's bigger than you, it's bigger than all of these materialistic things. What's the real reason you do what you do? Is it to set a good example for your loved ones, your friends, your family? Is it because you went through some traumatic stuff in your life and now you're trying to prove something to yourself? Is it to be sharp in all aspects of your life? Is it to make a difference and make a positive impact on other people's lives? What is the real reason that you do it for? If you don't have something greater than yourself that you're working for, you're never actually going to truly feel fulfilled. And lastly, purpose gives suffer meaning. And you're going to suffer either way. Without purpose or with purpose, you're always going to suffer. But when you have purpose, the suffering actually has a meaning. You might have to go through some hard stuff, but you know that on the other side of this, you're going to achieve great things. So make sure you know what your mission is. And this ties right into number 4, which is masculine energy. You must use your masculine energy to your advantage. Now, what is masculine energy? To me, masculine energy is leadership, assertiveness, groundedness, and the ability to actually go after what you want out of life. When you're in your mask, you go after what you want, right? You go after that job. You go after that one. You go after your goals. If you feel passive and you feel like you just want to lay back and like hope that things come to you, then that means you're not operating out of your masculine energy. And just remember, your loved ones want you to be the man that can step up. I know sometimes you may think that your friends or family don't really care about what you do, but they do. There's somebody in your life that truly cares about you, that is actually looking at you as their role model. And they're trying to see what you do, right? They look up to you, so you better set a good example. You better be the man that can actually step up and show people what's possible. Nobody in my family was really fit like that. So I had to be the one to get in great shape. I had to be the one to bring the scale to the family restaurants when we have parties and shit, right? To the birthday parties. I had to be the one to take my diet serious. And now, as a result, other people in my family are now taking their diet serious. Other people in my family are getting in shape. Because even though they never wanted to say it, they were watching what I was doing and I influenced them in a positive way. And that will truly fulfill you. So I know that society is going to try to feminize you. We live in this world where they want men to be passive. They want men to be soft. They say that masculinity is this bad thing. You need to reject it. Reject everything that this modern society tries to tell you about. In times of chaos, everybody goes back to their traditional roots. The men start being men again, and the women start being women. And the ones that don't fall into the traditional roots get extinguished, right? In times of chaos, the world begs for masculine men. So just remember, if you hear a girl talk about how, oh, she doesn't like when guys are too assertive, too dominant, don't listen to that. If you see a girl who looks good and you see her man's and he's looking like soft, he's looking like the girl in the relationship, and you're wondering how the hell are all of these feminine looking guys, feminine acting guys, how are they with such attractive women? Don't be fooled. They are being used for something. They're being used as placeholder. Maybe that guy supports her financially. Maybe he's an emotional temp. He just listens to what she has to say. She dumps all her problems on him. While on the side, she's fucking with a masculine man. So don't be fooled when you see these attractive girls with feminine looking guys and think that you have to be feminine in order to get the woman that you want. Stay in your masculine energy. You could build your masculine energy through fitness. Working out is going to raise your testosterone, raise your drive. It's going to show you that you're actually taking dominance over your own well-being. And that is masculine in of itself, right? That is masculine. Your nutrition, the way you eat, plays a huge role in the way you feel, in your energy, your hormones. Make sure your nutrition is on lock. Refrain from vices. Masculine men should not have vices. Vices are an escape. Masculine men tackle their problems head on. They don't try to escape their problems, okay? If you have a whole bunch of vices, you're watching porn, you're smoking weed, you're drinking alcohol, you're trying to escape because you have certain problems in your life that you haven't dealt with. You need to face your problems head on. That is masculine, okay? And take action towards your goals. This is very important. Now, number five is personal image. Just like your physique, your appearance, the way you put yourself together, your clothing, your hair, your hairstyle, the way you smell, the way you groom yourself, all of that speaks before you even say a word. When you dress well, you look like you respect yourself. You can't expect other people to show you love, to show you respect, if you don't even look like you love or respect yourself. When you show up to work, you dress a certain way because the company wants you to be a model for their company, right? You're a representative of their values. And so they put you in a dress code. Well, that's the same way you need to operate in your day-to-day life. So what you want to do is choose an archetype that matches the type of character that you want to be, the type of character that aligns with the best version of you. You're not faking it. You're working towards being the best version of you. The best version of you dresses different than how you dress now. He's in better shape, right? He carries himself different. His whole aura, right? His aura is different than the way yours is right now. So identify, what does he actually look like? How does he carry himself? How does he dress? How does he speak? How does he groom himself? And start portraying that in your fashion, in your grooming, all of that. Dressing well is always going to raise your confidence. When you dress well and it's comfortable for you, which is very important, it should be comfortable for you, then you automatically get this raise of confidence. There's a reason why first day on the job, or even first day, most people try to dress better than they normally do because it gives them that sense of confidence and they want to set off a good first impression. Well, every single day, you're making a first impression on somebody, right? On something. You never know who you might meet your dream woman, but you're out here looking like a bum. Not to say you can't pull her looking like a bum. I can still pull a girl. I'm wearing this baggy hoodie, but that's because I have the inner work done already. But when you have your style on lock and your inner work is on lock, your masculine energy is aligned, then it becomes so easy, right? Now, just remember, like, your brand does not matter, okay? Doesn't matter if you're wearing Gucci, Louis, nobody gives a fuck, right? The most important thing when it comes down to the way you dress is the quality and the fit. How do your clothes actually fit you? You want to wear clothes that complement your physique. There's no point of having a great physique and coming outside in a baggy shirt with your sleeves flapping in the wind, or a baggy hoodie. There is absolutely no point, right? You worked hard for your physique. Now wear clothes that actually complement your physique. Those two go hand in hand, right? And quality should be good as well. It doesn't have to be the best quality in the world. It shouldn't look like you got it straight out the 99-cent store either. Now, the last thing about your personal image is that you need to look well in person and online, right? We live in a digital age. A lot of times we're on our phones. So social media is going to be your best friend when it comes down to relationships, dating, and networking for opportunities. So when you have a great image online and it matches the person that you actually are in person, that's when you're presented with the most opportunities. Opportunities present themselves to those that present themselves. So you could be the best dressed guy, most fit guy in person, but if you don't present yourself well online, you're going to miss out on half the amount of opportunities, if not more. Probably more, because you're probably online more than you are outside. You just want to have a good personal image overall, online and in person. Now, the sixth non-negotiable of a high-value man is EQ, which is emotional intelligence. Man conquers the world by conquering himself first. Whether or not you like it, life is going to test you. But how you handle that determines your mental fortitude. This goes back to discipline too. But sometimes we have very good moments in our life. You're having a really good day, and sometimes you're having a really bad day. Just be stoic. Don't get too caught up in the highs and don't get too caught up in the lows. I used to get very caught up in both of these things, in the highs and the lows. And that's why I was always moving like this. My emotions were just like high one day and super low the other day. And I would think that I have like some sort of mental issues, right? I used to think I have depression, anxiety, all these things. When in reality, I was just getting too caught up in the highs and lows. Just be stoic. Be like this, right? Be like this. When you stay like this, you're good. You just keep progressing every single time. You don't let your highs get ahead of you, and you don't let the lows slow you down. The man who can't control his emotions will always be a victim. He's either going to be a victim of the system or he's going to act like a victim. Not being able to control your emotions as a man will automatically make you low value because you're going to put yourself in situations that you shouldn't be in. You're going to put yourself in bad relationships at a scarce. You put yourself in prison for overreacting because somebody offended you, or you could even die by making the wrong decision. Develop a sense of awareness of your own emotions. You could do so by asking yourself the question, how am I feeling right now? Try to ask this to yourself multiple times throughout the day. Like at first, you're going to really have to put in effort. Like right now, I'm asking myself, how am I feeling right now? How am I feeling making this video right now? I'm feeling pretty good, right? Sometimes I get ahead of myself and then I catch myself and I just take it slow. So live in the present as much as you can and try to really think about how certain things make you feel, right? Be able to identify how your actions and the way you interact with the world makes others feel as well. So EQ is not just about controlling your own emotions. EQ is also being able to manipulate other people's emotions. Because now manipulate can sound like a bad thing, but you can manipulate people's emotions to make them feel good too. And you should be wanting to make other people feel good as a high value man, right? You should make your girl feel good. You should make your family feel good, your friends feel good. Anybody who interacts with you should be feeling better after interacting with you. Ideally, right? You can't please everybody, but you should try to give off good vibes to everyone you encounter. So when you do something, just take note of how it makes others feel. How did the tone in your voice when you said something change the way that that person felt on the other side? Maybe change up the way you speak, the way you say certain things. Maybe slow down sometimes, go faster other times, and always take note of how these little changes impact others, okay? Now, if you can control how others feel, then the world is your oyster. You're going to be able to have the relationships you want, the job you desire, and get yourself out of conflicts. I literally had a gun pulled out on me, right? And I was able to get myself out of that situation, all because I was basically able to like talk to the guy and I really hit his emotions on a deep level to the point where I was able to get out of that situation, and that could have ended very bad, right? You could get the job you want, right, by being able to speak to the manager, being charismatic. Charisma is so important and it's going to get you so far once you can actually master it. But it all starts with yourself first. Master your own emotions first and then work on manipulating other people's emotions. Now, number 7 is the most important non-negotiable out of the list. If you don't have this, none of the other ones even matter. And that is having a personal creed and having integrity. You must know yourself. That's the foundation to everything else. Who are you really? What are your principles? What are your non-negotiables? What are your values? What is your philosophy? How do you treat others? If you don't have that figured out yet, you must figure it out right now, right? Figure it out. Figure out what's important to you, why you do what you do, how you want to treat others, right? How you expect others to treat you. What are your philosophies? What's your unique take on the world? understand it, understand yourself, and then live by your word like your life depends on it. Do not sell out, right? Whatever you believe in, I'm not saying don't have an open mind, but there are certain things that you should be very firm on. You should be very firm on certain principles. So one of my principles is respect. I show everybody respect initially until they show me that I shouldn't respect them. As soon as somebody disrespects me, we could get disrespectful, right? We could get disrespectful. But I'm not just gonna straight up show somebody disrespect just because I don't like the way that they talk, or I don't like the way they did their hair, or I don't like the way that person is dressed. I may see somebody be like, yo, why the fuck is this guy wearing a dress? But if that guy was to come up to me and ask me something, I'm gonna treat him with the same respect as a guy who looks masculine as wearing a suit. That does not matter to me, because the guy wearing a suit could act disrespectful versus the guy wearing the dress, maybe he doesn't. So for me, that's a very big principle. That's a very big boundary of mine. Another one is like, I'm willing to put my life on the line for my loved ones, right? For my loved ones, for the people I really care about. I don't care. If I go to prison, if I die, so be it. At the end of the day, my dignity is worth more than my freedom. At the end of the day, some people may not live like that. Some people may be like, nah, I'm not willing to die for my loved ones. I'm not willing to, die for my own respect. That's cool. If that's you, that's you. Don't change because of my principles. Have your own principles. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you have a custom made rule book for your own life, you can always revert back to it in times of hesitance. Sometimes we go through situations as men and we have to make decisions, and you're just so stuck. You're like, what decision should I make? What decision should I make? Well, you can always go back to your personal creed and look back at your principles. Okay, does the decision I'm about to make, does it align with all of my principles, all of my values? If yes, then do it. If it doesn't, then don't. It makes things so simple. And just keep in mind that people always respect the man who stands firm on his values more than the one who tries to please everybody. I'm gonna say this again. People respect the man who stands firm on his values more than the one who tries to please everybody. You may have a whole bunch of friends trying to act nice, trying to please everybody, but behind your back, everybody's talking shit about you and nobody really respects you, right? You're gonna have more enemies. And when you stand firm on your values, you're gonna have a lot of people who disagree with you. But the people who do agree with you, their bond with you is gonna be so much stronger. And even your enemies who don't like you, who don't agree with you, will still respect you. And that matters a lot more. So these are the 7 non-negotiables that every high value man should have. Make sure to go over this, take notes, figure out which ones you need to start working on the most in your life and start implementing them right now. As soon as you finish watching this video, make sure you write down your own creed, your own little manifesto. What are you really about? How do you want to structure your life? Once you really start practicing what you preach within all of these non-negotiables, you will become a high value man. You don't need a Lamborghini. You don't need to be making $1 million a year. You don't need to look like Mr. Olympia, but you should have all the principles that I laid out right here, and that will make you a high value man. So that's it for this video. I'll see you boys in the next one. Stay dangerous.